Well, hey friends, it's Natalie. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for stopping by. This video is gonna start out a little bit different than my other videos do, just because I wanted to take a moment to share some stuff with you guys before moving on into this vlog that I've put together. If you're new here or if you don't follow me over on Instagram, then you may not be aware of a tragedy that my family has been walking through in the last few weeks. So my sister Christina and her husband Jake were getting ready to welcome their third baby. And at just about 38 weeks, they learned that baby Amelia had tragically, suddenly passed away. Every time I have had to share this news with someone, saying these words, it just feels so unreal. It feels like we have been living through just a really bad, sad dream. And I know that that is how traumatic and heartbreaking events sometimes feel for some people. And I haven't been able to sit down and actually say these words on camera for the last 3 weeks because every time I start talking about it, I can't proceed. And there's been, for me, a lot of healing in the last few weeks, as you will see actually later on in this video. But our hearts and our lives are forever changed. No amount of time or healing could ever change the mark that baby Amelia has left on our hearts. I am so sad that we never got to meet her and experience her and watch her grow up. But I rejoice in knowing that this sweet baby is with Jesus and she never had to experience the pains of this life and this world. I won't share more details to respect the privacy of my sister and brother-in-law because it's their story to share. I can only really share just what I've experienced in the last couple of weeks, which part of that experience includes you guys, because when I have been able to share it on my Instagram or in a pinned comment here in a previous video that I posted, the support, just the outpouring of love for our family as a whole, but specifically for my sister and brother, has just been incredible. And I am so deeply grateful for this community here on YouTube and my email list community and my Instagram community. You guys are just amazing. And I set up a support page for my sister and brother-in-law, and you guys were able to raise funds for them to be able to put together final arrangements and help support their family during this hard time. People have sent meals and gifts, and it's just been incredible. And so I want to thank you so much for that. So in this video, I share with you some stuff that we did here in the garden as I worked, as Weston worked, as the kids worked through their grief. We've all been affected by this. We're able to rally as a family and really come together. And I have a bit of a message to share with you guys as I share these projects and this work that we did on our property. And I also share with you our Easter week, Easter weekend, and some of the stuff that we did through there. It was Weston's birthday. And putting this video together that you're about to see was an extremely cathartic and healing experience for me through my grief. I'm a creative person by nature, and so having something that I can work on and create was soothing for me. And so thank you for giving me that space and this opportunity to share a bit more. I will tell you that this video is not completely sad and somber throughout. There are definitely happy and joyful and kind of exciting moments throughout this video. So I hope you enjoy the video with all of its nuances, including this little intro that I just felt compelled to start the video out with, because I think it's important to have a bit of perspective moving forward. So let's take a look at what the last couple of weeks have looked like for our family. When faced with impossible or shocking, devastating news, sometimes I feel completely paralyzed and unable to function for a while, which is okay, because there's no right way to grieve or to mourn. This time, however, I truly felt such a pull on my heart and my body to get outside and to work with my hands. Life felt so out of control during this time that working in my garden helped give me some sort of semblance of control over my environment. I worked in the sunshine and the rain, poured my heart out to the Lord, grieved, and took out my emotions on the weeds that had popped up since the last time I worked out here in the autumn. I watched this corner of our property come to life over the next several days as Weston and I and the kids worked together. We built this kitchen garden last year, but there were definitely some improvements and changes that I wanted to make, not just to the garden itself, but to the surrounding area. And Weston was able to get on his tractor and clear some brush and weeds. I got in there and with my bare hands ripped things out that didn't belong so that we could create a little bit of extra room behind the garden for additional planting room, for some wildflower and pollinator-friendly plants, and to also make a little space for our first small flock of chickens that we are planning to get here within the next month or so. We worked little by little in the pockets of time that we had in between visiting family and helping out our loved ones. While we spent time serving our family and taking care of those who needed the most, the Lord met us in our broken place, and we saw His hand everywhere we looked. We had so many random, unexpected visits from wildlife. Days that were forecasted as going to be completely rainy and cold and stormy suddenly turned into sunshine. One such day, we took an impromptu drive out to Skagit Valley to visit the beautiful daffodil fields. We experienced several unexpected moments of provision that just left us in awe and grateful, from discovering not one, not two, but 3 mature hazelnut trees on our property while clearing brush and invasive weeds, to finding someone who was offering several mature rhododendron and azalea flowering bushes that all we had to do was go and rip them out and replant them in their new home behind our garden. God not only provided for our physical needs, but also for our emotional needs as well. And can I just say, I am so proud of my kids. I feel like we've turned a corner in our life as a family. My little girl is just so comforting and wise and such a sweetheart, and my boys are stepping in like never before. They've seen lots of tears from mommy and daddy. They've shed a few tears themselves, and they have really stepped in both physically and emotionally to help out where they can with no expectation of reward. The work itself is the reward, and I've seen so much maturity from my boys. I'm just so incredibly proud of them, and they were more than happy to help us clear branches, and Haley was my little buddy, working side by side with me whenever I had raking or landscaping or projects to do here and there. And all 3 of the kids are so excited to welcome some chickens into our family. And as hard and shocking and traumatic as this season has been for us, it's been such a strengthening time for us as a family. And I really feel like the progress that we made on this side of our property with clearing things out and getting some stuff weeded, making plans for our future chickens and their run and their little area back here. Everything that we've done here together as a team is just the physical representation of the work going on in our heart and in our home. God does not waste our tears or our sorrow, and I'm so, so grateful for our family, both the immediate family in our household as well as those around us, my extended family, my parents and my siblings, Weston's family, our friends who have just stepped in to support and pray and love and help And for all of you who have sent so much love and so much support and words of encouragement and have been praying on your own. It means the world to us, and I can't even tell you. And now, every time I look out my window at this side of our property, I'm just filled with so much overwhelming joy and gratitude, even though this project was born out of loss and grief. God tells us in His Word, He says, "Behold, I make all things new." They say that there is not a timeline on grief. And that is so true. Something that really helps me in times of sorrow and grief is to get back to life as close to normal as I can, as quickly as I can. It's really, really good for my mental health. And so I'm happy to be able to pick up the camera again and share more in real time as I continue to process what our family has gone through and is continuing to walk through. So I'm glad you're here for this week. Welcome to Easter week. Some people call it Passion Week. Some people call it Holy Week. It's very, very special for us as Christians. And to have this beautiful sunny day to continue to do some work in this very special part of our property. It's just transformed in the last week, and I can't wait to share more with you guys. So I've brought you up to speed as of right now where we're at, and then this is the latest. You may have seen it while I was talking there for a minute. This trench is what Weston started this week out doing. He dug this because there is a power outlet on the outside of our house that he's going to run power from, and then he's going to put conduit into this trench, cover it all back up so that we will have power out where we want to put the chicken coop. It'll also give us the option in the future if we want to put like a bird bath that needs power, maybe set up a pergola with lights on it, string lights around the top of the garden. These aren't necessarily things that we'll be doing like in the near future, but whenever we're doing a big thing like this, like digging a big old trench, we want to try to give some forethought to what we could be doing in the future, near and far. Man, I have big dreams of like a patio area with pavers, sort of like an English garden, cottage garden sort of thing. I've been consuming a lot of that sort of content lately. So if you have any favorite channels that you watch for specifically like flower, cottage, English garden sort of stuff, would you leave them in a comment? That way I can check them out if I haven't done so already. And I will leave some of my favorite channels linked in the description box for you guys to check out and go send some love to. For now, here's what I'm going to work on today. So I recently picked up some ground cover, and I'll show you when I get to it, but I have some spots that I would love some like viney sort of spreading, crawling ground cover. Also picked up some varieties of lavender. I wanted a good mix of different kinds. I have Spanish lavender, a couple of different ones of that. I have some French lavenders, some English lavenders, some alyssum, some sedums for ground cover. I have a couple of ornamental grasses that I picked up. So today, while I have good weather, because this good weather isn't supposed to last, I think by tomorrow or maybe the next day, it's supposed to be rain again, but I'm taking advantage of the sunshine right now, and I'm going to get these planted, and then we have something really fun happening tonight. Well, I think it's fun, but fun is subjective. Okay, like I said, I've been consuming a lot of gardening content, but what the camera doesn't show you is how long it takes to actually set plants out when you're kind of putting together your layout and where the different heights and textures and stuff are all gonna go together. So I didn't even get done putting the plants on the ground, let alone planting them, before Weston showed up from work. He's on time, I'm the one who's dragging. But we're gonna leave somewhere and go pick up a couple of things that are very special. So we packed up the kids in the truck, hitched up our trailer, and made a couple of stops this evening to pick up some things that I found on Facebook Marketplace. First off, I found this gorgeous custom-built outdoor wooden arbor with a gate for my garden. I've wanted one of these since we lived in our old house and have even looked into building one myself, but honestly, the cost of materials alone would easily be double what we paid for this one that I found from this nice couple who were downsizing. It was a beast to remove and haul into our trailer, but thankfully, I have quite the He-Man husband, and together we made it happen. I can't wait to show you what I have planned for this piece. Next, we took a little drive into the beautiful foothills of the Cascade Mountains to pick up a chicken coop. I'm so excited about this. My quest for a chicken coop has been months long. Everything is so expensive, but we're not quite ready to try our hand at building a custom one. But this coop is the exact one that I had been eyeing from Tractor Supply, except in this case, it was already assembled and half the price. Win-win. The family we bought it from had a lovely hobby farm, and our kids loved saying hi to their mule and horses and seeing their flock of chickens, which had quickly outgrown this coop, so it had only been used for a very short while. Like I said before, we intend to start with a small flock of our own, and this coop will be adequate until we can custom build one that can grow with the inevitable chicken math that I keep hearing all about.
The Lamb who was and is to come.
The only things from last year's planting when we built this garden that have lasted through the winter are my herbs. They're actually doing really well, and I need a few of them for what I am cooking right now. So happy Good Friday to those of you who celebrate with us. This is the day as Christians that many choose to recognize the death of Jesus and the sacrifice that he made for us. So definitely a very special day. So right now inside I have a stew going. I'm going to be making a couscous pilaf, and these herbs, they're greening back up. You can tell that they have definitely had more sunshine in the last couple of weeks than they had for all of the winter, but all of them survived, which makes me so happy. These green onions look particularly good. The kids always come out here in the garden and they just like rip green onions. My kids love onions and garlic, which I'm actually considering growing onions this year. I got some onion starts. I think I'll grab some rosemary too. Just a little bit of that. There we go. This ground is definitely a bit soggy. I don't really mind the rain. The only time that I do mind it is in the springtime because I want to be outside and I don't want to be in a torrential downpour while I work. But I was very glad to see it this time around because it was perfect timing for the plants and the shrubs that we planted back here. All of the rhododendrons and azaleas. We have some camellia bushes. We have some lavender, as you saw. A nice soak for them is exactly what they need to start getting established in their new home here behind our garden. That chicken coop just makes me smile every time I look out the window and see it. Got some fence posts in the ground. We're starting to map out a little chicken run area for them. And although you probably won't be seeing new chickens in today's video, definitely stay tuned because it's on the horizon. As you saw, we got the trench covered back up. Weston was able to run the conduit that he'll use to get some wire out to here. Our friend Nathan came over and helped him do that a bit and helped him just sort of place this new arbor down. We're gonna do some modifications to it to make it right for here. We need the gate for it and everything, and I need to make it pest proof so that little bunnies don't hop their way through once I have some good stuff in this garden for them to munch on. Speaking of bunnies and eggs and all that sort of thing, it's Easter weekend. Very, very special for us. We have some family time planned. Of course, we have some church time planned. And today I'm just working to get this house under control. I've spent so many hours outside, so many hours outside of the house, like our home completely, just spending time with family and helping out where I'm needed. And I kind of have a mess going in every corner of the house. So I think I'm going to prop you guys up on a tripod, do a little bit of cooking, do a little bit of cleaning, and if you need some motivation or just a buddy to hang out with, I hope you'll take the next few minutes of today's video to get on up and maybe get something done around your house as well. Happy Easter Sunday. He is risen.
He is risen indeed.
How many times have you said that today?
Never too many.
I didn't pick up the camera very much yesterday at all because we just kind of had a family day. It was this guy's birthday. We started the morning with an Easter egg hunt at our church. We do a community outreach there. That was really fun for the kids. But then we spent some time celebrating this guy. the big 3-1.
Saw a movie, the Mario movie.
That
and
was
then
really fun.
Went to Red Robin.
Yep. We basically took
That
the
was about
kids.
it.
We basically took the kids out for a fun day for Weston's birthday. We did the same thing last year when we saw the Sonic movie. That was fun.
Good.
And then
Yeah, it was
this
fun.
morning came very early. I was on the worship team. We had a praise choir. We had a lovely Easter morning service at our church. And now we're back home. We did some Easter baskets, little ones with the kids. They're playing some games right now. I am stirring a pot of strawberries that I'm making into a strawberry sauce, which I'm gonna put you guys down. I need to put some honey into this. Probably actually use the last of the honey that I have in this jar. I am making the strawberry sauce to go with some fixings that I have for strawberry shortcake. I'm bringing it to my mom's for our get together that we're having over there for Easter. The smell of strawberries reminds me so much of my grandma Judy, because this is what she would serve every single year on Easter when she would host. And now my mom's taken up that mantle. She even has some of my grandma Judy's like table linens and serveware and stuff that she's set out to host family just for nostalgia's sake. We miss my grandma Judy and my grandpa Gary so much, especially during holidays, because they were just amazing hosts. So we like to recreate special little moments, and my job this year is to recreate the strawberry shortcakes that she would do. And we would do like our own little individual portions. And so that's what we're gonna do this year as well. So that's what I'm making here. Weston is getting out on the lawnmower. It's quite stormy outside right now, but that grass is a growing. It's that time of the year and it's driving him crazy. So he's gonna go mow out there. I'm gonna cook a little bit. Kids are gonna dye eggs, and then we're gonna head over to my mom's for a bit. Of course, everyone is invited, but only a couple of us can actually make it this year because we've got some sickness rolling its way through our community. Our household has been able to dodge a lot of it, thank goodness. But we do have some sick family members that won't be able to join us today, which is a bummer. But it's just so special to be able to spend this time with our family and celebrate together. Easter, Resurrection Sunday, it's all so very special. And we're just so grateful for these times during the sadness and the grief that we are going through as a family, to be able to just pause and spend that intentional time together and to reflect on how good God is and how He's brought us through this. There's so much to be grateful for, and something that I'm finding myself more grateful for than ever before in my life is the closeness of family, and just how blessed I am to have such an amazing family. And all glory, honestly, goes to the Lord. So we're gonna go spend some good time with them today, and I hope you enjoy the next couple of minutes of today's video as I share with you some special family time.
There is no river that runs wide as your goodness. There is no mountain that stands tall as your faithfulness. And there's nothing else I'll ever need. All of my days, your mercy followed me.
It is so paradoxical to experience the loss of life during a season where there is new life all around us. Even though we never got to know baby Amelia here on earth, she is dancing at the feet of Jesus in heaven right now, and she has life to the absolute fullest with him in heaven. And someday we will be able to meet her. I know she's up there with my grandma and grandpa, along with other babies that have been lost through miscarriage from my sisters and from close friends of mine. It's just such a hopeful thing to be waiting on heaven someday. I hope you were encouraged by today's video. I just wanted to thank you so much for all the love again, and for the outpouring of support, and for giving me the time to take a step back and to take a break. It was actually very clarifying for some things that I've had on my heart regarding YouTube and being a content creator, and I've got some things that I'm praying about. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, but there are some changes that I'm thinking about making to my schedule and to just the time commitment to making videos. I wish I had 2 weeks for every video that I make. And I don't know if you can tell the difference from watching this video, but I was able to put so much more heart and thought into what I put together today for you guys. And it's got me thinking about some stuff moving forward, which I'll wait for another time to share, because I'm still formulating my own thoughts and putting together a bit of a plan and prayerfully going through what the Lord is leading me to do. And I can't wait to share more with you guys, because, you know, as Olaf says, all good things, all good things. Thank you so much for spending part of your day here with me on my channel, and I'll catch you later.